Oscar winner, Bond girl, Batman's Vicky Vale, and a PETA activist, Kim Basinger's career is as layered as it gets. But how did she navigate fame, financial ruin, and family struggles to leave her mark on Hollywood? Smalltown beginnings. Camila Ann Basinger was born on December 8, 1953 in Athens, Georgia. Her family blended artistry and practicality. Her father, Don, was a jazz musician who became a loan manager, while her mother, Ann, was a former model and competitive swimmer. Ann's performances in the Water Ballet Championships hinted at the creativity Kim would later channel. Growing up with 4 siblings, Kim's life was a mix of structure and self-expression. Athens was charming but far from the bright lights of major cities. For a shy girl like Kim, the idea of stardom seemed worlds away. Yet, even as a child, she found ways to express herself. At 3, she started ballet lessons, discovering freedom in movement. Dancing became her first stage and helped her build the confidence to step into the spotlight. By her teenage years, her striking looks and natural grace began to draw attention. Encouraged by her mother, she entered local beauty pageants, winning titles like Junior Miss Athens. These wins gave her a taste of performing and opened the door to broader opportunities. Competing in the Junior Miss Georgia pageant offered her a glimpse of a life beyond her hometown. While many of her peers planned for college or steady careers, Kim's ambitions stretched further. At 17, she enrolled at the University of Georgia following the expected path, but her journey soon took an unexpected turn. A scout from Ford Modeling Agency spotted her, instantly recognizing her potential. The opportunity was exciting but intimidating, especially for someone so tied to the comforts of home. Kim hesitated, unsure if she was ready to leave Athens for the unpredictable world of modeling in New York City. Ultimately, curiosity and ambition outweighed her fears. She packed her bags, said goodbye to her quiet hometown, and set out to explore a future she could only imagine. From pageants to NY modeling. Kim entered a world buzzing with opportunity and pressure. Signing with Ford Models in the early 1970s wasn't just a career milestone. It was her ticket to the big leagues. Her striking features and undeniable charm quickly set her apart. Within months, she was landing magazine covers like 17 and scoring major ad campaigns. Her face became a staple in households across the country. Success brought glamour, but also heavy demands. The modeling world could be relentless, and Kim felt it. The constant focus on appearance, the perfection expected at every shoot. It was exhausting. In interviews years later, she admitted the anxiety she faced during this time. Every detail of her image was under the microscope, and the weight of those expectations wasn't easy to carry. One of her most memorable gigs was a national campaign for Breck shampoo. It was the kind of job models dreamt of: recognition, status, and financial security all rolled into one. But for Kim, it felt empty. Despite the campaign's success, she began to realize that modeling wasn't her ultimate calling. Looking for something deeper, she enrolled at the Neighborhood Playhouse in New York City. There, she trained under Sanford Meisner, one of the most respected acting coaches of the time. Acting opened a door that modeling never could. It gave her a platform to express emotions, tell stories, and explore creative depths that resonated on a personal level. By the mid-1970s, she was at a pivotal moment. On one side, she had a thriving modeling career with stability and fame. On the other, an uncertain but exciting path in acting beckoned her. For someone who had spent years in front of a camera, the idea of starting over was terrifying, but also exhilarating. Kim made her choice. She walked away from modeling and set her sights on Hollywood, ready to embrace whatever came next. Transitioning to acting. Leaving behind a thriving modeling career, she stepped into an industry that wasn't impressed by her past success. To gain traction, she started small, taking guest roles on popular TV shows like McMillan and Wife, 1976, and Charlie's Angels, 1976. These parts didn't make her a star overnight, but they taught her the basics of acting and gave her much-needed on-camera experience. Her natural charm made an impression, though early on she was often reduced to playing the beautiful newcomer. The real breakthrough came in 1977 when she landed the lead in Katie, Portrait of a Centerfold. The made-for-TV movie followed a small-town girl chasing fame in Los Angeles, only to face the harsh reality of being judged solely on her appearance. The role hit close to home for Kim, who had her own battles with being typecast. Her performance was layered, emotional, and sincere, proving she was more than just a pretty face. Audiences saw her as a serious actress for the first time, and critics began to pay attention. Still, Hollywood wasn't quick to shake its stereotypes. Kim was often pigeonholed as a blonde bombshell, a label that threatened to trap her in one-dimensional roles. Refusing to settle, she became more selective about her projects, choosing characters that challenged her. This strategy wasn't without its challenges. Opportunities didn't come easy, and she had to fight to prove she was more than her looks. In 1981, she took a step forward with the miniseries From Here to Eternity. The project, a remake of the classic 1953 film, gave her the chance to showcase her acting chops. Playing a complex role in a high-profile production earned her critical acclaim and signaled a shift in how the industry viewed her. By the early 1980s, Kim's persistence was paying off. Casting directors started to take her seriously, and bigger opportunities were finally within reach. Hollywood had begun to notice that Kim Basinger wasn't just another model trying her luck, she was a talent to watch. The Bond girl breakthrough. In 1983, Kim Basinger made a bold move, landing the role of Domino Patachi in Never Say Never Again. This wasn't just another movie, it was a James Bond film, starring none other than Sean Connery. Being part of such a legendary franchise came with pressure, especially for someone still proving herself in Hollywood. Bond girls were often typecast as glamorous accessories, but Kim had other plans. The film, a reimagining of Thunderball, wasn't part of the official Bond series, but still had big expectations. Connery was returning to his iconic role after more than a decade, and the stakes were high. Sharing the screen with him could have been intimidating, but Kim handled it with confidence. Her performance brought Domino to life with unexpected layers of vulnerability and strength. She didn't just look the part, she gave the character depth. Critics and audiences took notice. Kim's chemistry with Connery was undeniable, and her screen presence was magnetic. While many actresses might have leaned on glamour alone, Kim dug deeper. She studied the character's motivations, delivering a performance that elevated Domino from sidekick to something more substantial. Reviews praised her ability to balance the character's allure with genuine emotion. Suddenly, she wasn't just a model making her way in acting. She was a legitimate star. The production wasn't without its drama. Connery reportedly clashed with director Irvin Kershner, leading to tension on set. But Kim stayed focused, earning respect for her professionalism. Even in the face of on-set challenges, she kept her cool, proving she could handle the demands of a major film. Never Say Never Again performed well, raking in over $160 million at the box office. The role wasn't just a win for the film, it was a win for Kim. She'd broken through the Bond girl stereotype and established herself as a leading actress. This performance didn't just boost her profile, it set the stage for even bigger opportunities to come. Kim was officially on her way to the Hollywood A-list. Stardom in the 1980s. The 1980s were Kim Basinger's decade. Her big break came with The Natural, 1984, where she played Memo Paris, a femme fatale opposite Robert Redford. The film wasn't just a hit, it was a cultural touchstone, earning multiple Oscar nominations. Kim's portrayal of Memo wasn't one-dimensional. She gave the character depth, showing Hollywood she was more than just a pretty face. Critics took notice, and suddenly, everyone knew her name. Her next move? Shocking audiences in 9.5 weeks, 1986. Paired with Mickey Rourke, Kim tackled one of the most provocative films of its time. The story of a toxic, obsessive relationship blurred the line between art and scandal. Some countries banned it outright. Yet, the controversy fueled its success, turning it into a cult classic. Kim's performance was raw, intense, and unflinching. She didn't just act, she embodied the role, showing a fearlessness that set her apart in an industry obsessed with playing it safe. Not one to get stuck in a single type of role, she switched gears in Blind Date, 1987, a romantic comedy alongside Bruce Willis. Kim showed she could do funny as effortlessly as she did dramatic or daring. Her chemistry with Willis kept audiences hooked, proving her versatility as a leading lady. Then came Batman, 1989. As Vicky Vale, Kim brought warmth and charm to Tim Burton's dark, brooding Gotham City. Starring opposite Michael Keaton, she played an intrepid journalist who held her own amidst the chaos of the Caped Crusaders' world. The film smashed box office records, grossing over $400 million globally. Kim's performance was essential to its success, adding heart to the gothic blockbuster. By the end of the decade, Kim wasn't just a star, she was a Hollywood powerhouse. Whether in gritty dramas, lighthearted comedies, or massive blockbusters, she made every role her own. Her 1980s career was a masterclass in reinvention, paving the way for an unpredictable and eventful 1990s. A rocky personal life. As Kim's career soared, her personal life became more complicated. In 1980, she married makeup artist Ron Snyder Britton after meeting on a photo shoot. At first, their marriage seemed stable, but Snyder Britton later revealed in his memoir, Longer Than Forever, that Kim's struggles with severe anxiety and perfectionism often strained their relationship. He described how her insecurities about her appearance and career created emotional distance between them. Their marriage lasted nearly a decade before ending in divorce in 1989. Not long after the split, Kim found herself back in the tabloids when she began dating Alec Baldwin in the early 1990s. The two met while filming The Marrying Man, 1991, and their chemistry wasn't just for the cameras. Their romance became headline news almost overnight. By 1993, they were married, and in 1995, they welcomed their daughter, Ireland. From the outside, they seemed like a Hollywood dream team, but their relationship was far from perfect. Behind the scenes, things were rocky. Baldwin's fiery temper often made news, and Kim reportedly struggled with the constant media attention. Paparazzi seemed to camp outside their lives, capturing tense moments that fed endless gossip stories. The pressure of their high-profile marriage and parenthood, combined with the demands of their careers, created cracks that were hard to ignore. Kim decided to take a step back from acting to focus on her family. It was a bold choice for a Hollywood A-lister, but it came at a cost. While she cherished the time with Ireland, the break only fueled the tabloids. Stories about her struggles with anxiety and her marriage filled magazine covers, often eclipsing her professional accomplishments. Financial and career setbacks. The early 1990s were a whirlwind for Kim Basinger, marked by ambitious choices and public fallout. Among her boldest moves was purchasing Brazelton, Georgia for $20 million. This tiny town of around 500 residents became her passion project. She envisioned it as a creative oasis, blending tourism and film production. The idea was groundbreaking but riddled with challenges. Legal red tape, funding gaps, and logistical nightmares caused the dream to unravel. Within a few years, the town was sold at a steep loss, leaving her finances in shambles. Critics were quick to pounce, calling it a reckless move that symbolized Hollywood excess. Then came the boxing Helena debacle in 1993. The film, directed by Jennifer Lynch, had a controversial plot involving a surgeon amputating a woman's limbs. Initially, Kim signed on as the lead but backed out after reconsidering the disturbing material. The producers weren't pleased. They took her to court, suing for breach of contract and demanding $8.1 million in damages. The judge ruled against her, and the payout left her financially strapped. Filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection became her only option. The fallout wasn't just financial, it was deeply personal. The press painted her as impulsive and irresponsible. Headlines turned her into a cautionary tale, and Hollywood insiders began to question if she was a safe bet for big projects. Film offers slowed to a trickle, and her star power seemed to dim. But Kim wasn't one to wallow. she pivoted to smaller projects, quietly rebuilding her reputation. Her choices reflected a mix of humility and determination. She knew she had to work her way back, proving she could still deliver as an actress. Comeback with LA Confidential. In 1997, Kim Basinger's career found its saving grace with LA Confidential. This neo-noir classic, directed by Curtis Hanson, brought Hollywood's dark and dirty past to the forefront. Based on James Ellroy's novel, the film delved into the corruption and scandals of 1950s Los Angeles. The ensemble cast, Russell Crowe, Guy Pearce, and Kevin Spacey, was stellar, but Kim's portrayal of Lynn Bracken stood out. Lynn wasn't your average femme fatale. Modeled after Veronica Lake, she was more than just a glamorous escort. Lynn had depth, empathetic, strong, and quietly commanding. Kim brought a subtle, magnetic quality to the role. Her performance wasn't loud or flashy, it was restrained, making every glance and line of dialogue hit harder. Critics called her portrayal a perfect mix of fragility and inner strength, elevating the film's emotional weight. The movie itself was a smash hit, earning 9 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. Kim's performance earned her a Best Supporting Actress nomination, her first recognition from the Academy. For an actress once dismissed by critics as just another pretty face, this was a major moment. Then came Oscar night, March 23, 1998. When her name was called, Kim took the stage, holding back tears as she accepted the award for Best Supporting Actress. Her speech was short but heartfelt. She dedicated the win to every little girl out there dreaming of a moment like this. It wasn't just a win for her career. It was personal validation after years of setbacks and scrutiny. LA Confidential wasn't just a film for Kim. It was her comeback story. It proved that she wasn't done, and more importantly, that her talent couldn't be boxed in by Hollywood stereotypes. The role reignited her career, putting her back on the map as a serious actress. Diverse roles in the 2000s. Her post-Oscar career was anything but predictable. After the success of LA Confidential, she used her clout to explore a mix of mainstream hits, indie dramas, and a few less-than-stellar projects. Her choices revealed an actress eager to evolve, even if it meant stepping out of her comfort zone. In 2002, she reunited with director Curtis Hanson for 8 Mile, a semi-autobiographical film about Eminem's early struggles. Kim played Stephanie Smith, the struggling single mother of Jimmy B. Rabbit, Eminem. It was a far cry from her glamorous roles of the past. Stephanie was gritty, flawed, and burdened by life's harsh realities. Critics praised Kim for grounding the character with quiet authenticity, making her struggles feel raw and real. 8 Mile became a global phenomenon, earning over $240 million at the box office. It also snagged an Academy Award for Best Original Song with Eminem's Lose Yourself. Kim's work in the film reminded audiences that she could thrive in any genre. During the 2000s, Kim gravitated towards smaller, character-driven projects. The Door in the Floor, 2004, paired her with Jeff Bridges in a heart-wrenching story about loss and the unraveling of a marriage. Her portrayal of a grieving mother was both subtle and devastating, earning widespread praise. In The Burning Plane, 2008, Kim delivered a deeply emotional performance as a woman grappling with guilt and betrayal. These films may not have been box office hits, but they underscored her ability to tackle heavy, complex roles with grace. Not every project landed well. I Dreamed of Africa, 2000, based on Kuki Gallman's memoir, struggled to connect with audiences and critics, despite Kim's dedication to the physically demanding shoot. Similarly, the supernatural thriller Bless the Child, 2000, was criticized for its predictable storyline. These setbacks didn't seem to faze Kim. She continued choosing projects based on her own artistic instincts, not Hollywood's expectations. Hits, misses, or hidden gems, Kim wasn't afraid to take risks. Her filmography from this era reflected a commitment to growth, proving she was far more than just a Hollywood starlet. Life beyond the spotlight. She has stepped away from Hollywood's chaos, choosing a quieter, more intentional life. After decades in the public eye, she shifted her focus to personal growth and causes she's passionate about. One of her biggest commitments is animal rights. Kim has worked with organizations like PETA, speaking out against cruelty in all its forms. She's been vocal about ending fur farming and factory farming, and even appeared in a campaign urging an end to the dog meat trade in South Korea. Her activism isn't just for show. Kim fosters rescue animals and supports legislation to protect them. She's all in, and it shows. Away from the camera, Kim's role as a mom has taken center stage. Her relationship with her daughter, Ireland Baldwin, hasn't always been smooth sailing. The media dissected their family struggles, including a tough custody battle with Alec Baldwin. But despite the drama, their bond is stronger than ever. Ireland often praises Kim for her resilience and calm presence, calling her both a rock and a best friend. Kim, in turn, has been Ireland's biggest supporter, helping her navigate life's twists and turns. Their social media snapshots together show a genuine closeness, proving family always comes first. Though Kim rarely steps into the spotlight now, she doesn't disappear entirely. When she does make an appearance, it's for a purpose. Whether she's at an animal rights rally or cheering on Ireland, she still commands attention with her trademark elegance and confidence. Hollywood may not be her main stage anymore, but she's found meaning in a slower, more purposeful pace.